happened there. But I think I haven't live stream for the past 2 weeks. It's been a crazy 2 weeks because I've made a lot of changes in everything, in my setup, in my career. I did a lot of creativity exercises this week because I'm trying to kind of figure out what I want to do next. I'm kind of taking a break from like all of my shows, all of the regular stuff that I'm doing to kind of have a creative retreat and understand like what should be my next move in terms of my career, because right now I have so many interests. I'm live streaming, I'm doing a few weeks ago discovered that I could also do voiceover work. So I'm taking a creative retreat. What that means is I'm not like committing to all of the usual things that I'm doing, weekly live streams, but I thought I should do productive popcorn still because it's something. I have a lot of things to discuss about all of the movies that I've watched recently, especially Trese. Well, it's not a movie, but it's one of the things, and it's probably already late to talk about Trese because everyone has already watched it. And I'm still in episode 3, I think. So, all right. So, I welcome to the productive popcorn binge watching for BC professionals. If this is your first time watching, okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I am live and that you can hear me. And if you can hear me, what was the last movie that you've watched or the last TV series or anything that you're obsessed about recently? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know them. Okay, so if this is the first time that you're watching Productive Popcorn, it is something that it's a weekly live stream for those people who want to watch a lot of stuff at the same time be more productive. So, because for me, I'm a productivity geek, but at the same time, I'm a movie buff. And I think that you can combine them together so you can still do all the things that you love, without taking your work for granted and all of the other passion that you have. So, doing productive popcorn, I feel like it combines everything that I love and all of my skills. So, I hope that you enjoy this show today. We're going to talk about Trese, The Dead Don't Die, Working Moms, Luca, Soul, maybe The Father. So those are the things that I've watched for the past 2 weeks. So I am like beaming with all of the things that I want to discuss about all of the films. So let me know if you've already watched Trese. Is it worth watching? Is it not? So I guess that's something that we can already talk about right now. Okay, and here's the thing, and you will probably hate me because a lot of people like Trese. I mean, it's good. It's really good. I love the animation. It's so refreshing to see like the MRT Mang Inasal logo when you're like watching. Usually, when you watch like an animation, you see Tokyo, and this time you see your own city. Like that's Guadalupe. That's where I used to go. Like I used to ride the MRT from my place to UP, and it's like so amazing to see that in a Netflix TV series, animated TV series. And I love also all of the folklore, the mythology behind it. Like some of them I actually know from when I grew up in Bacolod. Like I know some of these stories, and I have experienced them being told to me. So, and I've experienced being scared in this, like all of the amazing characters. The only thing that I'm not sure whether I'm like going to finish Trese or not is I feel like it's not building up to something. So usually for a TV series, there is like the main arc, and there are many subplots that in each episode that the character is solving. So when you're watching Sherlock Holmes, there's like a main arc where it leads to something bigger, and he solves different cases in each of the episode. And each case would end in that episode, but still there's kind of a teaser for the entire season. So maybe it's just me and I'm not familiar with like the Trese enough. Like I didn't read the comic books. I only read about it like from all the news because it's amazing. Yeah. So I don't feel like there's a main arc. There's just kind of like a series of cases, which are really cool. I like the cases. But I felt like, what's the bigger story here? It's not, it doesn't motivate me to kind of finish the whole thing. So, or maybe I'm just like too tired at the end of the day and don't understand what's going on. So let me know what you think. But basically, I think we already have watched 3 episodes. It's definitely exciting because I feel like it's kind of yeah, it's I feel like it's kind of like a Sherlock Holmes but supernatural, also kind of like iZombie. So definitely I think it's definitely worth watching if you're curious, because for me, I'm motivated to watch it because I'm curious, like all of this news about um the actress, the one that did the voiceover. Liza. So, oh, there's one thing that I wanted to talk about: the Tagalog dub and then the English, no, the Tagalog subtitle. So sometimes we have to watch movies with a subtitle because we have, well, most of the time we watch an English subtitle for an English film or TV series. But this time we wanted to watch it in Tagalog, but with a Tagalog subtitle. But then it's kind of like messing up your brain because the Tagalog dub is not matched with the translation in the subtitle. So we ended up watching it in English, dub in English, and then subtitle in English. So that's kind of like a tricky one. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I wanted to hear Liza's voice and see, like, what's all the complaints about. So yeah, so I think it's definitely worth watching, even if you're like not a fan and you're just curious. Even if you're not a fan of anime, I think it's still definitely worth watching because of if you live in the Philippines, it's just so cool to see your world translated in an animated world on Netflix. So I think like that's a really, really big deal. So let me know what you think. I would love to actually, yeah, I'd love your opinion about this. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Oh, I have an IMDb pulled up because one of the things that I really hated this week or last week, I'm not sure, or over the weekend, I watched The Dead Don't Die. And wait, I'm gonna show you my review about it. But basically, The Dead Don't Die. No, 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 it's not worth watching. I died watching that film. I think it took me and Carl kind of 3 nights to finish the film. And I'm like, when I heard about the cast and just, it's a zombie film. So I'm such a big fan of the genre. I'm sold. I wanted to watch it. But then, like, the film is just like a big flop. I don't understand what they were trying to do there. So, and I'm not gonna do any spoilers, but yeah, it was. I felt like it was such a huge waste of time and huge waste of talent. uh, okay, so I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna kind of, so I've started rating films on IMDb and also reviewing them. So rating them, just basically giving them stars, and then you can also review them where you can actually, write your own reviews, and then it gets added to the average, and then people can also read it and um yeah, and then they can like do the thumbs up and thumbs down and like tell you if it's helpful or not. So if it's a thumbs up, then they find it helpful. So that's been pretty cool. And I've kind of thought that maybe I should rate and review films the moment that I watch them, or like after I watch them, so I don't forget kind of what I wanted to say about the film. Oh wait, now I'm realized I'm not sharing my screen. Ooh, hey Baba, thank you so much for commenting. Me, I'm not a fan of anime, pero I do watch a few. Started watching Trese a few weekends ago. Di ko pa natapos, so I can't really say anything about it yet. Yeah, same here. I haven't finished it yet. Just like giving my initial impressions, and maybe it's actually, it actually gets better. And okay, so you can see my screen, right? So recently, let's talk about The Dead Don't Die. So that's kind of I think that I died watching this movie. So yeah, Well, actually, I already said it, but I'm just gonna read it again. So when I heard about the cast for this zombie film, I was sold. But what a total waste of time and talent. Is it satire? Is it horror? Nope, none of it. To be honest, I don't know what the heck it is. And that's really, I stuck to this film and hoping that something good will really happen and everything will make sense at the end, because it's like the cast is really star studded, and even Tilda is there. I feel like every film that Tilda is in is just like automatically great. She's also the sorceress supreme, so like she's really, really like the coolest actress, and that kind of like sold me. Uh, but I, even if you're a fan of the zombie film, I just feel like it's really not worth watching. So I rated it 3/10. And if we're talking about like popcorn, I'm definitely rating it 1/5 popcorn. So let me know if you watched The Dead Don't Die. Um, See, like it has a really, really cool, like even Selena Gomez is there. I feel like it's just a big vanity project. Like, I really appreciate that people put together this film with these actors, but it, yeah, it's like have cooking a meal with all of these amazing ingredients, but then the result is not something that you would want to eat. Yeah, that's probably a terrible comparison, but that's how I felt. Okay, so we've discussed Trese, we've discussed The Dead Don't Die. Something that I recently watched, which I haven't rated yet, was Luca. We watched Luca yesterday, so it is a Netflix film. No, sorry, not a Netflix film, but Disney Pixar. So it's the latest one from Pixar, and I think I'm gonna say like 4/5 popcorn. And if I'm gonna rate it in IMDb, I think it's gonna be like 7 or 8. It's definitely great, highly entertaining. The characters are something that are the characters and the theme. I think it's a common theme to discuss. Whether you'll be accepted as who you are, but kind of in a different setting. Very interesting town. Um, so it's actually on the Italian Riviera. And like my dog keeps barking again. Uh, Wait. Give me 1 second here. How do I turn on phone? Okay, I'm back. So it's just like definitely a chill time. So nothing. I usually try to kind of produce a live stream that's kind of like a live television type of thing. But right now, as I've mentioned earlier, I'm not sure if I've mentioned it, but I'm taking a creativity retreat. So I'm pausing all of the things that I'm usually doing weekly live stream, except for productive popcorn, because I have a lot of things to discuss about all the movies and TV series. Okay, so Luca. The only thing, well, actually, I don't think I have something to complain about Luca. I'm just saying that it's not in the league of like Toy Story or Wally. Um, I think it's better than Onward. Mm, to be honest, I kind of feel like it's Ariel. That story, kind of like a similar story and setting. And also, but I like that it's not about like meeting your prince, marrying your prince. Is like a really solid story that anyone can relate, and especially relatable in these modern times. So yeah. I think it's definitely worth watching, especially with your kids. So Lara already kind of has this. If you watch the film, basically she's now saying "Silencio, Bruno." She doesn't know what it means, but I think it's cool, and it's definitely. And if you watch the film, you'll know what it means, and it's such a great message. And I think it's such a great message for content creators too, because every time uh and I don't think it's a spoiler, so just every time you feel like you're worried about something, you just say silencio Bruno. So yeah, definitely worth watching. Okay, let's talk about another Pixar film, which is Soul. Soul was actually in 2020. I just recently watched it. I'm not sure why we missed it, but we didn't watch it right away. So Soul is actually 8.1. Also very, very good film. But and let me know if you've already watched Soul. Hey Deco. Hey Dex. I think we're gonna see each other tomorrow. I'm not sure. But okay, let me know if you've watched Soul, because I might spoil you if you're planning to watch it. So definitely great movie to watch. Also very, very funny. Our family, so we watched this with Lara, and our family was just like chuckling every few seconds because and that's really great. I think a film that makes everyone laugh, like both the adults and the kids, that's a good film. Because it means that like for the parents, you always laugh because of the actual words, but most of the time kids laugh because of the comic, um, the slapstick comedy, or like a cat fell and it's funny the way they fell. So yeah, so that's, I think, that's very hard to kind of reach. That's that moment where everyone laughs every few seconds. So, and that's so it's something that you should watch with the entire family. So it's very funny, but it's actually tackling a very deep question. Where do we come from, and what happens after we die? So it's a very complicated thought, like for like a 3-year old. So we watched this with our 3-year old, and I think she knows the concept of death, because we actually talk about it in the context of like video games, and especially in the context of Disney, because there's so many dead mothers for Disney princesses. I realized that actually when I became a mom, I realized that moms are like either dead or not present in the film. So that's something to think about. I'm not sure if you realized that, but yeah. Um, Elsa, it's either like the mom or both parents are gone. Uh, so yeah. We could actually talk about all of that in just one sitting, but it definitely Soul. So I think Soul is also, mm, I would say it's still not in the league of Wall-E, Toy Story, but it's still a very good film. I feel like the ending is not enough for me though. I feel like the filmmaker, or like basically the writers, kind of like got it very easy. I was waiting for something more in the ending. It did not feel satisfying for me, as like it was too easy. That's it. Like there should be something more. uh you remember the ending for Up? That was satisfying. So like I did not feel that way with Soul. So yeah, but yeah, definitely worth watching. I would rate it 8, and I would rate it for popcorn 4/5. So definitely worth watching. I actually just kept talking. I don't know like how much time I already have. But yeah, so nothing, because as I've mentioned, I'm doing creativity thing, so no restrictions, just like, talking and kind of unleashing what's going on in my brain. And if it's something that actually people want to listen to. And maybe I can show you some of my works later. I'm not sure if it's connected to film, but maybe it is. Okay. I forgot what else we're gonna discuss. We've covered Luca. Ooh, working moms. Okay, I am. This is my guilty pleasure. Working moms. So the fifth season has been like available for a long time, but it only became available I think a few weeks ago or 2 months ago. So I haven't finished it yet. But Working Moms is one of my favorite. It's kind of like the Hangover for moms because the jokes there are like really kind of in your face, really jaw dropping. It's something that you have to watch when your kids are asleep. But I can relate to kind of the moms, especially Kate Foster. Kate Foster, in her character, she is like a marketer, a PR person. And yeah, I just kind of love her journey. And I can see a bit of myself like from all of the moms. So it's definitely worth watching. If you haven't watched Working Moms, you should start from season one. Of course, it's a very short episode, and you can finish it very like quickly. And if you are a fan of Ghostbusters, the director of Ghostbusters is actually her dad. So she's the creator, so Catherine, and she's also the star of the show. Netflix. It's an Australian one. It's called The Letdown. That one is also really good. Um, and I think it deserves an award. So it's really funny, but also tackles mom issues in a very delicate and deep way. So it's not kind of like a vulgar type of way, the way that working moms, they're kind of the same in terms of like I think the topic and target audience, but they're totally different in style. So I'm not comparing the style. So they're both funny and also both a lot of drama. I just feel like the Letdown is a little bit more sophisticated compared to Working Moms. So it's the Letdown is actually rated 7.5. It's only 2 seasons, I believe. I'm not sure if they renewed it, but I already finished 2 seasons. Really great. You should totally watch it. Okay. Thank you, Ria Als. Zian. Who's Zian? Uh, is that like a Trese character? Because I'm not sure. Okay. I guess we can cover one last thing. What did I watch recently? Uh, okay. So this is my activity, and then because I feel like I've rated most of the stuff that I watched, but I didn't review all of them. I realized that actually, there's when you submit a review in IMDb, it spoils. I didn't know it, so I just wrote, and I realized that like my review is a spoiler, and maybe I'm losing internet connection because IMDb is not loading. Irene, the popcorn are blocking you. Yeah, that's okay. Um, do, 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 do. Uh, as long as you can hear me, then that's all right. Okay, yay! So your rating. So this is the most These are the things that I've watched recently. So The Dead Don't Die, we already covered that. Ooh, Wish Dragon is really fun. You should watch it. It's from Sony. I feel like Sony's on fire with all of their animations. So they also it's the Michels versus the Machines. It's from Sony. I know Wish Dragon is also from Sony. This is super fun. Initially, it's kind of like a Aladdin ripoff, but it kind of becomes more fun and becomes more of itself. So with Dragon 7, Laura loves this film. So when we watch it for the first time, she keeps asking to watch it again, and I've watched it again with her as well. The reason why it's kind of similar with Aladdin is because there, instead of a genie, there is a dragon. So he gets three wishes, and yeah. So that's kind of basically the whole idea. And yeah, I guess that's the only thing that I should say, because then everything else will be a spoiler. Okay. Yeah, so those are the things that I've watched recently. You can see that it's like they're all over the place. There's no one clear genre. Zombie, Nomadland. We watched Nomadland because it's an award-winning film. Also very good. Oh yeah, and we watched The Father because I was looking for films for Father's Day, and I was just like crying the whole time watching The Father. If you like those films, I usually don't like watch purely drama piece, but yeah, it was Father's Day, and wow. Um, okay, The Father, and I know this was originally a play, and then they turned it into a film, so you could actually see how that plays out in the film, like translating a play into a film. It has its challenges, because you want your story to be cinematic. But The Father, and let's see, I think maybe, if he hasn't won yet, he should win an award. Like all of the cast should win an award for this film. Wait. So yeah, you should definitely watch it. Oh, it's actually 8.3 in IMDb rating. 8.3 is really, really high. So if something is rated like 5 below, then that's something you should stay away from. Sometimes I still watch movies like 6, especially if it's a genre that I love or an actor that I love. So I would watch their film regardless of the rating. But yeah, if you're like concerned about the rating because you are saving your time and watch only the good ones, definitely 8, like no brainer. 7 to 10, no brainer. I've never seen a 10 rating in IMDb, I think. But if you've seen one, let me know. So yeah, I think that's everything that I've watched this week. Oh, no, no, no. There's one thing, and we haven't finished it yet because we fell asleep. um, just because I guess we're just like too tired as parents at the end of the day. So nothing against Loki. Loki, as you know, is very entertaining. Um, so if you haven't started watching it yet, you should definitely watch it. As I understand, it's actually um, better in terms of TV series rating or than WandaVision. It's so weird that it feels like WandaVision seems like ages ago. So yeah, Loki, if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. I know there's some kind of controversy about Loki's gender. I don't know. Like I watched the episode that specifically discusses that. I didn't think it was a big deal. It's actually kind of awesome. So, yeah, because I've seen all of the headlines before I actually watched the episode. So it sounded like so controversial, but I don't know why it's controversial. It's really cool how this Loki character is unfolding in the series, and I'm so excited to watch more of Loki. And this is like a series that I'm really invested in. I would say I can't tell whether WandaVision is my number one, but basically, then also there's the Mandalorian. So it's kind of hard to rate. Like if I have to choose, yeah, I would say WandaVision. No, the Mandalorian, WandaVision, Loki, and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Because those are the things that I've watched. Did I miss any Disney series?